Welcome, welcome. I am so glad you joined today. And I'm sorry for the background noise. I've been waiting for the last 2 or 3 hours for somebody to quit mowing around us, but we live across from a park and it evidently takes a really long time to do that. So kudos to all those folks doing that. Sorry if it's you have some noise pollution, but we have a pretty park to look at. You're welcome to come by and see if that makes up for it. But I am Kelley Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Hopefully, we are all good on sound and everything. I haven't done one in a while, so we shall see. Y'all let me know when you come on, make a comment and tell me who you are and where you're watching from. Would love to know that. Today, we're going to make a card from the Potions and Spells bundle from Stampin' Up. And this is one that we created I designed it, and then we created it at our August potions party, which I have already posted a few things on my Facebook page. If y'all want to catch some of those photos from that day, we had a ton of fun with several of my team members and customers, and it was just a wonderful time of sharing community, and we had fun little snacks, and it was like about a 4 to 6 hour deal, but it was a lot of fun. And I am just going to show you one of the cards today, and I'll try to make it pretty quick, but it's got a lot of detail to it. So if you're making this at home, you need to settle in, have a Coke or tea or wine or whatever time of day you're watching. Feel free to join, and you can always just save the replay and watch the replay later and get some of the techniques down if we don't have them, if you don't get everything today. But at least we're going to attempt this so that the people who bought my class to go from the potions party will have some instructions of some kind. So I'm excited to share this card with you. And originally I saw this fun fold for the first time. It's called a double side pop out fold. And that was Matusu Crafts. And I put their link in the description below. So we will go ahead and get started. I will switch the camera over. Here we go. In fact, I'll probably just make me go off the screen and see how that works. See if that's better. Nope, that's not it. Hang on. It's been a while. Let's see. I think it's this one. Nope. Okay, we'll just take me off and put this on because this is pretty detailed. And if y'all need to see me, holler. And I'll put myself small again over in the corner. Sorry, had to have a sip of water. Okay, the magic thing about this card is the way it opens. It is so fun. We have a lot of little spooky stuff going on here with using the blending brushes. And then we'll also be using blends on the inside. And did you see that? Is that not awesome? Okay, one more time. Here we go. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Ah! Isn't that cute? I love this fold. So we'll hope I can remember how to recreate it today. If not, I'll have to do a part 2, I guess. And I will put the measurements and everything in a blog post that I have started working on, but have not completed that either. So we got a lot going on here at the Pitts household. All right, we are starting with pumpkin pie. And we're going to just start with some of the blending brushes. I have also used the, let's see, Spotlight on Nature dies. And I don't know if I included those in the supply list or not. We shall see. And we've got blending brushes, and I'll be using 2 different sizes today. We have the kind of the large and the small, or the mini and the regular, or whatever you want to call those. But on this background, we're going to start with some pumpkin pie. And let me go ahead and get my bone folder out here. Hope y'all have had a great week. We have been really busy working on our Feed Seniors Now that we have coming up, benefiting Meals on Wheels. Had a lot of activities going with that, and that drive goes through September. If anybody wants to know some details on that, how you can help, any company or business, organization, church group, Sunday school group, anything, can do a food drive for the specific items that are on the website with Lubbock Meals on Wheels. And then if you want to go ahead, here we go. I'm just using the blending brush on the front and the back, as you can see. And I always tap on the ink pad and then tap off and then go on to the paper from the side if I can at all, but so you don't have a little blob there. And then going in a circular motion seems to help also. All right, let's see. Do we have any on the inside? The inside doesn't show, so no big deal. Just have a little part of that that's a little darker. Okay, we've got that. We'll set that aside over here. Now we'll go ahead and use this die. And let's see, do I want to stamp first? I think that made it a little harder, and it kind of made it a little brown in here where I was trying to go with certain bubbles, but we can try it. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of orange. And when you're using the blending brush like this, you're only going to use it in specific areas. You don't want to use all the colors. See how I'm stamping off there or tapping off? Okay, we're going to say that is going to be it for the orange. So you don't want to overlap your colors because you'll just get a muddy kind of brown color. All right, so we've got the orange there. Now, I think I'll go ahead. I think we'll go ahead and stamp before we do the other part. Right here, I'm going to switch to the crushed curry. Another Halloween color. I hope y'all let me know. Is everything okay for those who are watching? Can y'all see everything okay? The sound's okay? Let me know in the comments if you would, just to make sure I'm on. It's been a while. Okay. We're going to go in with the little crushed curry up here. And y'all can leave part of this white if you want, or you can just color most of it. You just want to try to repeat the colors a bit. Try to leave room. We've still got green and purple to go, so we've got to start on that one. Now we're going to use the yellow on this one, or the crushed curry. And you can hold your blending brush however you want. You can just use 2 fingers, use 1 finger, whatever gives you the best control. However you like to do it is great. Just as long as you're tapping off and then going on to going onto the paper from the side like that. And I'm just using the yellow and the purple here. This particular yellow is crushed curry, but you could make a different choice if you wanted. And I'm going to go around the edges of this little bottle too, just to kind of, when you make something darker on the sides like this that has a shape to it, it will give the illusion that the bottle goes like that. You know, it has a front like this would be closer to you because it's lighter. So I'm just using the little blending brush on the side there. Probably be easier with the little one, but that works. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and do that on our broom that we're doing inside too. Just kind of make it a little dirty, you know. Nobody's going to have a clean broom, right? That's what I think. And sorry, I started with a messy placemat, but I thought, man, it's going to get dirty anyway. So this is kind of fun to have all these mixed colors, don't you think? Okay, where else do I need yellow? All right, we're going to do yellow on this skinny piece. And make sure you've got, if you bought one of my class to goes, or if you're making this at home on your own, figure out which one's which on these first. Measure it. The wider one is going to go in the wider section right here. This one is a skinnier one. That goes on this edge. And that looks like it's too long. I'm going to have to trim that one down a little bit. Okay. And then this one, this is called auditioning your pieces when it's like this. So you look and go, okay, that's going inside the card there. This is going to go on that piece. And this is going to go here. But whoops, it's too long. So we're going to chop that really quickly. I did hundreds of pieces of layers and die cuts for this class. So it is not a surprise. Let's see what these are. See if that's usually 5 1/4, but yep, that's 5 1/4. All right, we'll chop that to 5 1/4. Ooh, I'm sorry. I bet that was loud. I apologize. I'll try to be more careful with my sound there. Okay. Thank you. Welcome, my crafty adventures. Thanks for the compliment. I'm glad you're watching. Let's see how I can get this bigger on my screen here. Whoop! I don't really want that. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. Now, so you always want to start, if you're doing a blend like this, you want to start with your lighter colors because you don't want the darker colors getting into your ink pad of a lighter color. Because if you go with the light color and it gets into a dark pad, it's not going to be a big deal. But vice versa, it can be a big deal. It can be a mess. Okay, so we've got our yellow done there. Crushed curry. Now we're going to make the yellow kind of the second spot here. And see, you can see if you're not using much pressure, that's what you'll get. But you can layer it, go on, come back on, come back in, and really get some deep, rich colors out of this. But it takes some pressure and takes some layering. And it doesn't hurt. Like I said, we're going to go back over this a little bit with the orange and with the green. But I want to make sure I've got a rich crushed curry in the middle. It looks like I should have re-inked my pads after that class. We had lots of people using these ink pads. It was a lot of fun. Okay. So I think that's going to be enough yellow crushed curry. I really want it to be rich. Okay, I may go ahead and try to imitate this one. Just put a little yellow here and there on this. And then we'll put a little bit in here. Because you don't want this to be too dark and distracting. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Yellow anywhere else? Not right now. Okay, we're going to put up the crushed curry. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to pumpkin pie so that we can finish this one up. And set your blending brushes aside and as you use them so you won't make a mistake and go with the wrong one and the wrong ink pad, if that makes sense. Okay, see how rich we can get with that pumpkin pie? I kind of went down a little far on that, but that's okay. At Halloween, you can get by with all kinds of stuff that just looks like you meant for it to be kind of spooky. All right, my crafty adventures, where are you from? While we're chit-chatting here. All right, let's get a little bit of orange on this. And I'm just kind of, y'all can do whatever order you want. If you're the type person who needs to do one thing and complete it and then move to the next thing, I understand. You can do that. Whatever makes you happy. Okay. Come down a little on the side there. All right. That'll be easier to figure out what else we need once we get the image stamped. But right now, that's all I'm doing. Okay. Next, we're going to Granny Apple Green. And I don't know what happened here. I've got dents in my pad all of a sudden. Don't know what the heck that is. Okay. So we'll add a little bit of green in here. Woo! There. Okay. That's why you tap off. I obviously didn't smooth it on very well, but like I said, at Halloween, it's not a big deal. Just looks like it's supposed to be that way. Gives it kind of a cool effect, doesn't it? Okay. While we've got the green out, we're going to do a little effect on here. Now on this one, if you can tell right here, I used the Stampin' blends to do that, to get that effect. But we're just going to do it with our little blending brush today. So you can kind of see which way you like it best before you do yours. If you want to make one of these, you'll know which one you like. Love this little green slime. That's the die set in the Potions and Spells bundle. And this the bundle is available as an online exclusive. So that means it's not in the catalog. It's not in the Stampin' Up! Annual catalog, and it's not in the new Holiday Mini that just started on September 4th. It's not in either one of those, but it is available as an online exclusive. So, and as you know, when you buy a bundle, you save 10% over buying individually. Okay, let's see. We're just doing purple on this one. Okay, we've got a little green to the inside of our bottle. So we're going to kind of, you can do it either in your hand or on your, down on your mat, whichever way works for you. Probably be easier to switch to a smaller brush, but this is working at the moment. So we're going with it. Okay, we've got those. Now, and as I said, I'll give you measurements and all that. This card is detailed enough. So we're not going to go into all that right now. We'll just let you figure that out on the blog post. Whoop, I picked up orange. Whew. I hope I didn't go in my green with the orange or vice versa. We just want a little touches of green here and there. Okay. Now, all right, I think that might be it for the green. I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of background for this square that we haven't really done much with, but just so it doesn't look flat, we want it to have some kind of texture to it. So there we go. That's all there is to that. We will go with our gorgeous grape. Next color. Let's see. Let's get the big one with the purple. And would love to know who all is watching. If y'all are still there. All right. Purple. We are going to just add, purple is kind of going at the bottom. And then I kind of use Blackberry Bliss at the bottom to really make it rich, right at the very, very bottom. But up in here, it is just gorgeous grape. Then we'll go back over that. Trying to get this where you can see everything and the mess. And see, somehow I got a splotch there, but probably our broom's going to cover it. So no worries. It's Halloween. Okay, so there's a gorgeous grape. I'm going to come back over it, like I said, with the Blackberry Bliss. But I'm going to get a little bit of this grape. Make sure I knock that off. A little bit of the purple up in here. Not a lot, because you're going to repeat it down here. Isn't that cool how you get the little swirl things going there? Maybe you don't need to see this up close. I don't know. I feel like I'm not seeing you, or you're not seeing me when you're not seeing me. I usually have the camera where you can kind of see both, but I thought you might need to see a little more detail on this one. See how you can just really layer that color on. Okay. And we'll get it a little darker with our Blackberry Bliss in a minute here. Let's go ahead. Oh, we forgot our green here earlier. Okay, I think we're doing all right on those. Let's go back, close this up, move this blending brush, get our back to our Granny Apple Green. And I think this stuff right here may be affecting how that's going on the paper. Not sure. I don't know how I got those little notches out of there. But this was just such a great class, and I look forward to doing something with, I've got the More Than Autumn suite that is going to be a fun class too here in the Lubbock area. I don't know, my crafty adventures, if you're from the Lubbock area or somewhere else, but if you're from here, you should holler and kind of meet our paper crafting community. We've got some fun folks. Okay, back to the gorgeous grape for the bottom of this. And then we'll do a little Blackberry Bliss too on it when we do it on the others. And we'll be ready to do some stamping and then filling in a little bit where we need to. And if we had had the designer series paper that we have now in a kit, it's in a scrapbooking kit. They've got some gorgeous Halloween DSP, but we didn't have it in time for my class. So there you go. We made up our own, and that was kind of fun, coming up with how do we do all these backgrounds without any DSP, because I'm kind of spoiled to using that a little bit now and then. Okay, there's the purple. Let's go over here with the little green. And there we have it. Now we're going to go on this one. We got to go back to green on it. I'm not doing very well at keeping up with 5 things at once, which is not a surprise. We're going to do the bottom half of this little circle. And as I said, all 3 of these totally different detail dies, die circles or circle dies are from the Spotlight on Nature die set that is available in the annual catalog. Yay, there we go. And if you don't want your colors that deep and rich, you don't have to do them that way. It's totally up to you. It's your card. You create it your way. We're just going to get some little edges on this bottle. Looks like I might have to go back in, get a little more pumpkin pie. And I may try to use our smaller brush. That would be helpful. Whoa! That was juicy there. Juicy, juicy. I must have re-inked that one for sure. Okay, and then it's going to have a purple on the inside. Oh my goodness, and I forgot to get my wet wipes. What a day to forget those, right? Okay. All right. Kind of jerked my blending brushes in their little stand. Okay, I think we are cooking with gas here, peeps. I think we're getting close. Let's get a little of that Blackberry Bliss and we'll be good to go. Get a little bit of that right at the very bottom. Ooh, look how rich that is. Isn't that cool? How that really makes that rich, doesn't it? It turns that gorgeous grape into something Halloweenish. And I'm not a believer in Halloween. You know, it's just a fun thing to play with, but I'm definitely not into anything that has to do with Satan or spirits or any of that. I don't like that. I don't believe in that. I'm a Christian and I definitely don't want to get anything involved in that cult kind of stuff at all. I just think you can have a little fun with the Halloween play stuff and without taking it seriously. Check that out with the Blackberry Bliss. Fun. Okay, I think we're pretty close. Let's go with a little bitty circle. We're going to go with the, well, let's go back to just Gorgeous Grape on that one. Trying to keep up with all this stuff here. Hopefully I'm not getting too much Blackberry Bliss in my into my Gorgeous Grape there. Okay, I just made like a little swirl on there, you know, a little bit, but leave some white at the top. Okay. I think we're ready to stamp. I need a little bit of yellow crushed curry on that one. Okay. Now that we've gotten most of that out of the way, we will move all these blending brushes and let's see if I can make this happen here. Oop, I think I'm going to just move them totally over here. Let's see here. Okay. I am going to have to get I'll be right back. I know that looks like a wreck right there. Gotta get a wet wipe. Okay, already back. Let's see if we can get rid of some of this mess here and get a nicer placemat. Oh. I did not plan for this part 2. We'll see if that will help a little bit. Okay, here are all our pieces. And we'll get our little Stampin' Pierce mat and get some stamping going on. And I just have this covered. This is the Stampin' Pierce mat from Stampin' Up, of course, because we all love Stampin' Up, right? All right. Now, we've got a lot of blocks here. So I'm going to see if I can get them where I need them. Okay, we're going to use Memento Tuxedo Black. And if you can't get it covered with the stamp going to the ink, then take the ink pad to the stamp. And we're just going to kind of come where most of that is in there. It's kind of the edge of the stamp on both sides. You can see where I came to, just right where that little corrugated stuff comes to, because we're going to cover that up with slime anyway. It won't look like there's a gap, hopefully. And we're going to stamp the little Hocus Pocus. A little Hocus Pocus. Kind of a little tricky to get that in there exactly right. Probably should have stamped that first. If y'all do this at home, stamp that first and then move your bubbles down a little bit. Would be easier. And then we're going to stamp on this piece. Let's see, we need a little more. One of these little sparkly deals will work great over here. I don't know if those are just little bubbles or little, I don't know what they're called. I just call them sparkles. And there's that. Then we're going to put a little sparkle like that on the small circle right here, like it's coming out of the, like it's something bubbling out of the little bottle right here that we don't have on there yet. Okay. Now we'll do, let's see, we're going to do the double toil and trouble right here on this one. We'll use the Memento Black on that also. Just seems right for Halloween, and we have some black accents anyway. Otherwise, you could probably use the Gorgeous Grape or the Blackberry Bliss, but I kind of like this. Have that right there. And I guess we will go ahead. Let me see if I have a little sample of the cauldron, or, well, we know right here. Let's say if our cauldron's coming to here, then our bubbles are kind of in the center and kind of going up toward that little greeting up there. I'm going to flip it over. See how this part is missing? It didn't really get that. So if you flip it over and you use that ink pad, you can see that you have solid coverage there. Okay, this is almost all the way up to the treble and about in the center. Alrighty. Then we're going to use our different little sparkle thing up here. And I make mine, there's probably not a wrong or right or wrong, but I kind of make those little diamond shaped things going up and down. That made more sense to me. I don't know. It's definitely not a must do. Just a little suggestion to think about that before you place it on there. Okay, now what do we have? Okay, we're going to put Happy Halloween on this one up at the top. And the Happy Halloween, this stamp comes all in one line, and it wouldn't fit that way. So I cut mine apart. I did some stamp surgery, and no Stampin' Up! Police are going to come after me because I did that. They're your stamps. You bought them. You can do whatever you want. So that is not quite close enough for me. I think I'm going to do it separately. I tried to stack it, see, on my block, but I'm going to change that up and just do the Halloween. Let's try that separately. Make sure it's stamping okay. Yep. Probably should have measured that with my little broom handle, but I did not. Okay, we'll do Happy with the other one with a different block. Make sure that's doing okay. You can always stamp off to the side on your grid before you stamp on your project. And I just kind of wanted those closer together and lined up. See, I got that a little heavy, but does it matter? No, it's Halloween. Okay, I think we've got that. And I think that's all the stamping we have except for the bigger images that we're going to use the Stampin' Blends on. And we'll go ahead and stamp those. We're going to set these aside, let all that dry. And then on here, we're going to stamp the cauldron. And these are going to be die cut, so it doesn't really matter exactly where you put everything. You should have room. Everybody who got this kit got one of these paper that's large enough to be able to stamp all these on. Now we're going to go with our cat. And we need room for the little crow. Do y'all call this a crow or a raven? What do you think? I don't know. I just don't know. I think I'm going to turn it this way and leave room for my books right there. There's my little bird, whatever it is. I'm trying to clean these in between. When you're using Memento, you want to kind of get it off your stamps quickly so it doesn't stain as much as it would otherwise. It still can stain them a little bit, but okay. And there's our stack of Spells and Potions books. Fun! I think that's all we have. Yep. Okay. Now we will, I think, it's always a dilemma. What do y'all do? Do y'all, if you're going to use Stampin' Blends, do y'all do that first and then risk messing that up with die cutting it? Or do you die cut it first and make it a little harder on yourself to have room to hold on to everything? It's kind of easier to do the blends when it's all on one piece of paper, but then you do risk that. What if I mess it up? And you've got to start over. So I just wondered what y'all do. I think I'm going to tape everything good. So I'm going to use the blends. Let's see if I can get all this out of the way and bring in our whole box of blends. We've got all the colors basically that we used on the first deal. Like all of the ink pad colors are the same colors we're going to use with the blends. Plus we're going to use black and smoky slate, because you can't really just use the basic black, even the light, because it's just, you know, you kind of picture a black cat, or I do, for Halloween. But if you do black, then you lose that outline. And I tried doing a white embossing powder with the, let's see, is this a dark smoky slate? Yep. Let's see if this is what we wanted. Yeah, I think it is. And I kind of go around the area a little bit, kind of get the big stuff on the body. Whoops, kind of went out of line there. Okay, I better slow down, take it easy. It's Halloween, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I need to switch to the brush tip. I mean the bullet tip instead of the brush tip, but this one's kind of working. So I'm covering everything in the light smoky slate. Then I'm going to go back with the dark smoky slate, and then I'll come back and blend the two with the light. I better stick right here. I think since we're doing the purple thing, I'm going to use Holland Heather for the ears. Instead of normally you would think of pink ears. Pink inside the ears. Woo, that's a little dark, but I should have used the light Holland Heather. Just FYI, light Holland Heather probably there. And then I'll use the dark Granny Apple Green. I've got some little giblets here out of our dies. Let me see if I can get rid of those so y'all don't have to look at that. Okay, so use the bullet tip on the eyes. And of course, I have green eyes, and I think this cat should have green eyes too. Ha! Okay, I'm going to make, since I used the dark Holland Heather on the ears, I think I'm going to use that on the nose too. Just barely room for a dot there. Now I'm going to go with the light smoky slate on here, on his little face. And everybody is mostly going to be looking at how cool it is when he comes out and waves at you from the card, and not looking at exactly how detailed your drawing and blending and all that is, I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm going to go with the dark smoky slate. You could even use, if you want it to be a little darker, let's try some of the light basic black and just see if we want a little bit of that for shading. Not a lot. It's kind of still pretty dark, but we're going to blend that in a little bit. And I'm just kind of going on the same side everywhere with that, the light basic black. And now I'm going to take the dark smoky slate to kind of blend that in a little bit. And you can't see the results immediately. You have to let it kind of go in a circular motion to kind of blend that, where it's not just a straight line of dark there. But if you'll give it time, it will blend. Just kind of need to give it a little time to do that before you give up and say, I don't know how to use blends. I can't do this. So you don't want to do that. Don't give up. Keep playing. It will work out. Okay, and then so I've got a little bit of kind of a line there that's still kind of definite. I'm going to kind of go like that, see if I can blend that in a little bit better, and then just have one lighter area. Okay. And then we'll make, I guess, a little bit darker on his face just to show that he's furry. Let's see how that works, because I kind of like him with a little bit lighter face. But if we want him to be a black cat, he still has to have some that's a little darker. Okay. And if you don't want to take this much time on yours, you certainly don't have to. It's totally up to you. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on the bird. And what did y'all decide? I haven't seen in the comments whether y'all think that's a crow or a raven. What do you think it is? We're going to start with the smoky slate light, and I'm just going to cover it. Just kind of going, my strokes are in the direction of the feathers. Then we're going to go back in there and add a little of the light color. And if y'all want to make your crow or whatever have an orange beak or orange feet or whatever, you can do that. I think crows really don't. I think they're all just black. But it's our little crow, so we can do whatever we want. Right? Okay. So then we'll go back with the bullet tip of the light smoky slate again and try to blend that in a little bit so it doesn't look all streaky, but it still looks two-tone. Okay. And then do y'all think, I guess he could have a light purple in there, his little tongue. Okay. I don't see y'all voting on whether or not he's going to have an orangey kind of beak or not. Or if we're just going to stick with the gray theme. We could go with orangey or yellow. I think, let's see what we did here. Let's remind us. I did yellow eyes. And I just kind of did gray everywhere like they would be. But let's do this one with a little bit of the orangey kind of color, the pumpkin pie. And just see how we like that. We can go over it with gray if we want. We're just going to use the dark pumpkin pie. But I think it kind of makes him look toucan-ish or something. I don't know. With the orange. So I'm going to go over it a little bit with gray just so it's not such a vivid orange. We're going to go with the light smoky slate. Kind of over that just a little bit, tone it down just a tad. See, so it's not a cartoony bright orange. It's more of just a hint of orange. How about that? And then we'll go with crushed curry on his eyes. We'll go with the dark. Nope, I don't have crushed curry. I have daffodil delight on that. Then we're going to do that on the little gold thing here. What do you call that? Cauldron handle? I don't know. Handle? Is that a handle? Is there a certain kind of name for it when it's a ring like that? Okay, we're just going to start. Are we going to start with a dark smoky slate? Let's see, or light smoky slate. I guess we'll do the light and then come back with the dark. Let's see. When you've got a big area to cover, I use the brush tip like this, but you have to be careful if you're getting close to the edge. You might want to switch to the bullet tip there if you're not used to playing with these. And you don't want to push straight down with your tip, or you can certainly ruin it. Okay, and I'm just kind of doing the strokes. To me, it's going to look rounder if these strokes are like that and not like straight across, or, you know, kind of go with the contour of the cauldron. And I'm trying not to bear down on my tip. And we probably could have done this with the blending brush. To get the base on here, that'd probably be a better idea to start with the blending brush, but I don't know that I've done that. Have y'all tried that, gone over it with blends after you've done a blending brush ink? I'm not sure how well that'll work on top of the ink, since these are alcohol markers and the ink is a water-based. So I'm not sure how that would work. Okay, so there's our little light gray. And we'll just fill in that middle there. Now I'm going to go darker. I'll go with the dark and then come back with this light again. The dark smoky slate. See, this has already given it some depth. And that one was pretty black. So I think it looks kind of like a cast iron cauldron, which is kind of what I'm picturing in my head. It's kind of what I was thinking when I designed that one. Let's see. Do we want to go ahead? I think we do. I think we want to make this all darker. We're going for it. But see, I'm still keeping those strokes with the contour so that that shape kind of comes through. Can you tell that's kind of, see how it looks kind of rounded? I mean, it's just, you could tell if that was just back and forth strokes. So I'm kind of liking this. As you get close, you want to switch to your bullet tip. We can do a little bit of that in here. And you don't go all the way to the line because the alcohol markers will bleed, which is a good thing when you're trying to blend. Sometimes it's like, dang, I didn't want it to go that far. But it just takes practice and playing with them. Okay, so we've got some layering going on there. If y'all don't want to take this much time and do this much to yours, just do it with a blending brush, or you can just cut it out of black, like I have done on another card that we'll be doing in another video. This is the light basic black. So we're really getting some shading going on here. Okay, do we want to go a little further with it? I don't know. I think this one may be just a little bit grayer than the first one. Go a little bit more in here. Because that probably would be darker. Right around this, I would think you just have to think about where it might be casting shadows. And I've probably overdone that, but we're going to blend that out with the This one is the dark smoky slate. So I'm blending the light basic black with the dark smoky slate and blending that out. See how that circular motion? And if it doesn't do it immediately, just give it a little time. It will start to. Okay, see how we have some depth in there with the layering of colors with the grays and the blacks, and I think it looks kind of artsy. Gotta love that. Alrighty, I think that's gonna have to do us because we need to move on, get our books done. You could play for quite some time getting it just right. Now I feel like I still need a little bit more. Just keep going on. Okay, I'm quitting after this. I promise I'm quitting. Y'all can go as long as you want, but we don't want the video to go for 2 hours, do we? Okay, time for the books. All right, let's see what else we need. We might need a little, we're just going to use a little, need a pecan pie on here really, but we could use just a little of the light gray, I bet, light smoky slate. Just kind of give that a little texture and depth. And we'll do that on the top of our little broom too. And that could be pecan pie if you had it handy. But in a pinch, this just kind of looks dirty and that works for a broom, right? Okay, now let's go with our colors for the books. We're using all the same colors we've been using before. Surprise, surprise. Okay, what do we have on the books? We have the light pumpkin pie in the middle where it shows spells, because you want to be able to read what's on there, the spells part. So if you do too dark of a color there, it won't show up. So I'm doing the dark pumpkin pie on the edges or the ends of the spine of the book. And we're going to use orange here, here, pumpkin pie. Then I'm going to use the dark granny apple green here and here. And this book spine is going to be granny apple green. And this book spine is going to be dark Highland Heather. Because I don't have Gorgeous Grape or we don't have them. I don't know for sure which it is. Okay, and then we're going to use the dark Highland Heather on the outsides or the ends of this book. And do we want white there, like a white stripe, or do we want to leave this? We're going to use the light Highland Heather on the potions part. And then I'm going to use the light Daffodil Delight. I'm not even covering the whole book pages. I am just going to go in there and wow, my Daffodil Delight is just about Okay. It's not there. Nope. Okay. We're going to use the Daffodil Delight. We'll use the dark. See, and I'm not covering the whole thing. I'm just covering parts of it. So hopefully it will look kind of like yellowed pages of a book. I think I like that better white, but that's all right. Here we go. All right. Oops, we need to go kind of fix that line there to blend that. So go back with the light to blend that. And I don't like that in there, the yellow. Yikes. That works. We are not going to be that picky, are we? All right. I think we're getting close, peeps. Now I have to know if we can die cut these, and then we'll have to see if I remember how to do the mechanism. That's going to be the tricky part. Thanks for sticking with me if you're still there. If you haven't seen the card, if y'all are just tuning in, here's what we're doing. How fun is that? Love it? One more time. There we go. Okay. We're getting close. We're going to die cut this out. And I could probably do my small one, but I don't use it that often, and I use this one all the time, the big one. So I'm just going to tape everything on here. If I can find my dies. And I'm going to put everything through, hopefully at one time. And they may not be exact because this is a weird angle to be doing this. Let's see here. All right, here's Kitty Cat. And you can just use Post-it tape, or you could use the mint. There's a mint tape, and you could use Post-it notes. You can use lots of different things to just make sure you are, after all that work you've done, that you don't want to mess up your die cut and let it move. Okay, now we have the crow. Y'all didn't tell me what you thought, if you think it's a crow or you think it's a raven. What do you think's the Halloween bird? Or what do you think this one is, I guess, would be more like it. And we don't like this touching each other like that, because that can jump. But I think with the tape, we're going to be okay. We're going to cross our fingers. I'm going to put another piece of tape right there. Because you definitely, if you don't use tape, you don't want your dies that close together, because it can definitely cut into your, one die can cut into the other one. So that is not good. Okay. Sorry, it's going to jiggle the table on the camera and everything else. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Let's see how we did. And we had somebody put this in my top plate. I guess they cut it with the die upside down in there. That's what happens at classes, huh? That's how we learn. Okay. There's our books. We are getting close, peeps. We just have to put this together. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope y'all are enjoying this, and we'll try it at home on your very own Halloween card. Okay. And like I said, once I'm not sure, I haven't checked to see if all that is orderable or not. But the scrapbooking kit should be orderable. Oh my. Now my battery's low on my phone, so I better plug that in. I'm going to take excuse me for getting in the way there, but I better plug that in. Hope I don't lose everything. Let's see, am I still on? Am I still there? I think so. Okay. That's the front. Ooh, we're going to put this back down. All right. Okay. We can lay that one down there. We're just going to do I want those other bubbles a little bit different color or go back in there before I put those down? I think I do, just a little bit. Let's just do a little bit of this. Just to make a couple of those darker. We've got quite a few orange ones. We're going to take our Gorgeous Grape and make, woo! There's a purple bubble. And a purple bubble. And let's put a little bit. Set those aside so you don't mix them up. Move my purple over. Green, granny apple green. And that's going to be kind of brown because I'm going over the orange with the green, but that gets the effect, I think. Okay. Now, I feel better. Let's do a little bit more pumpkin pie, kind of deepen that one up right there. Okay, I like it. Move these again. Okay, we are ready to glue. All right, this is going to be on dimensionals. You want to kind of audition your pieces and see where they're going to go. We can go ahead and glue. Sorry, I'm getting my arm in the way, but okay. Let's see. Let's glue the purple Gorgeous Grape onto the orange bottle. And we'll fill that yellow bottle full of green slime. Green liquid anyway. And we'll glue that flat right here. I'm going to have him stick over the top just a little bit. Glue this one flat. See if I can get that cord out of the way. Ah! I moved my, sorry. Okay. I think I popped, yeah, I did pop that one up. Okay, so we'll let that dry and then I'll pop that up. We're going to go ahead and glue this one flat. Like that. Oh, that's where that was. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Not a big deal. We're just going to stick a dimensional on this one. Because this card is going to be thick anyway. So it's going to be several layers because this is going to be popped up also. So I'm going to put these dimensionals on this side to hold this down instead of right behind that. You could probably stick one here at the top if you want. Just make sure they're not showing through those little holes in your die. We're just going to kind of put that there. And then we're going to pop this one up also. Kind of leave some room for the slime at the top. Oh, and I probably shouldn't have put this on. If you're doing this at home and doing your kit, you probably don't want to do this first. You want to get that inside mechanism on, and I forgot. But, oh well. Nevertheless, we shall make this work. Okay, we're just going to glue this slime down flat, and I wish it came all the way to the ends of the cauldron, but it doesn't. So I guess no pot boils over exactly over the whole pot. So we're going to have that kind of lined up at the top. And then if this bothers you, you can get rid of some of that white. You can trim that off a bit. Whatever, totally up to you. Okay, so this one I'm going to cut because we're going to use part of the little slime in one spot and the other part in another spot. Let's see how we did that. Whoops. Okay, straighten that up. Okay, so we want to have some little slime coming off of here. Maybe out of the bubbles and onto there. Like that. Or do we like this one down there? We can certainly change it up from what I had. We might want to move this up just a tad. Put this down. Or put those separately. You know, we can just overlap them. Make it exactly where we want it. Because what I'm trying to do is kind of cover that gap. There. Oops. And then we'll use this. Does that show? Yeah, it kind of does. Phooey. Shouldn't have cut that. We may just put it back. Uh-oh. We definitely have to put that right back there. We'll just put it even with that. And nobody will know it's been cut. We'll just make that work. We can put that over that if we want. With a little bit of a, put a mini glue dot back here. I told you this was a detailed card, but it's worth the wow, I think, at the end. Okay, we're popping our books up. And I like to have this line. The reason I have that purple down here and the green down here, I like for things to be grounded, like for them to sit on something. And so that's why that's there. FYI. Now, let's see if we can get this on top of that. Yep, kind of hate that that's cut there, but so don't cut yours at home. Don't do this at home. But there we go. Okay. Moving along. Now, this one can be glued flat. This piece that we've already done. And it should kind of have an even border all the way around. And then this piece right here can be glued onto this, even border all the way around. Okay. Then we'll put this one in. With our greeting on it. And I figured on a Halloween card, okay, yes, this goes all the way to the edge. Scared myself for a minute. But it doesn't have to go all the way in because this piece right here is going to be attached to our little mechanism. Let's go ahead and get our broom on here. And since that's on the inside, I glued that flat instead of popping it up. Okay, I'm barely going to lay it there to make sure I've got room for my, and I like where my broom handle goes. Okay. Whoop. How about that? They magically attach to each other. Did y'all see that? Whoops, sorry, I haven't been looking. Sorry, I was off screen there for a bit. Okay. Whew. This is a lot of card here, folks. Okay, our cauldron is going right there. Dang, and we need a little bit more. Once again, I shouldn't have put my blending brushes up. Y'all should remind me. Uh-oh. I lost my screen here. Let's see where I was. I hope I didn't get lost totally. Nope. Okay. Whew. Thought I was gone. All right. Let's do a little bit of purple again. A little gorgeous grape on one of these. All right. And put that up, Kelly. All right. Now we're going to do Granny Apple Green. And since these are transparent bubbles, you know, it's just not a big deal that we're not getting them exactly all lined up or anything. Okay, there's the orange. We're going to put a little darker there. Deeper color. Isn't that cool? That's just fun to play with, those blending brushes like that with the bubbles. Okay, here we go. We're adding the cauldron. Just line it up where the bubbles are coming out of it. And it's grounded with the Blackberry Bliss down there. Cool. All right, and then I think it's easier to mount these after we get our little mechanism done, wherever that is. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh my, oh my. Okay, let's see where that piece would be. Of course it's missing. I hope I have another kit with that cut out. What did I do with it earlier? What did I do with it? Okay. I had everything else right here. And I'm missing the one piece. This is my sample. So I may have to cut another piece, or hopefully I have another kit partially put together. It would have this in it. moment, please. Let's see. Oh, I do. Thank you, Lord. Okay. And what you do on this, since it's already done, I think I had a piece that was cut that wasn't already done, but we are running behind. So, okay. This piece is 1 5/8 by 4 3/8. Let's leave that down there. So if y'all want to get a shot of that for the template. So the size of the whole piece is 1 5/8 by 4 3/8. Then you score it at 3/4, 3 1/8, and 3 7/8. And then you go in and mark your piece at 2 3/8. Just mark it right there. Mark it right there. This is 2 3/8 from the left. Okay, from here to here is 2 3/8. Can you see those little dots I made there? And then that is where, okay, after you've done all these score lines, then you're going to take from that little dot, you'll line it up in your trimmer. Let me show you. I can show you that. You line it up. Once you've got those 3 vertical scores, you can see the marks right there. You're going to line this mark up with that mark and that score line. We've got stuff in the track there. Okay, do not cut, do not cut, do not cut. You're going to use your score blade. Can you see how that is from this score line to that mark? And then from this score line to that mark. So those are at 2 3/8. So hopefully that makes sense since you've got your little template. Now we're going to see if we can make the magic happen. Hopefully. Okay, we're going to fold that one. Well, really, you can fold really well on all the lines. That will help you. Make sure they're straight. They need to all be lined up. It is kind of critical to make this fold properly. So get your score lines good and crisp. I would probably fold it both ways. Fold it forward, backward, whichever way. Okay. Now we're going to fold on those diagonal score lines. Making sure those are crisp also. I'm going to go one way and the other way too. Kind of loosen that up. Now we're going to fold this way. Okay. Whew, hoorah. Sorry y'all are looking at mess, but I don't have a lot of time to clean up in between. Okay, here we go. A while ago when my phone was running out of battery, I kind of got it off center there. Okay, I think this goes here with that right on that score line, kind of right in the middle. And then this is going to go over here, glued down there. Okay, so we're going to glue this one down. We're going to cross our fingers and hope this is right because, okay. That's going right up to the score line, not over it, but right up to it, and try to get that straight. Okay, so that we're going to do like that. Then we're going to take this one, and it should glue right here. This little tab. So you may have to redo this a couple times. That's what I had to do. I went to Matusu Crafts. That's where I saw that. I watched him do that multiple times. Okay, so that's going to be glued. You can do it like this and glue that like that. Whoops, no, dang it. That was wrong. Oh, I'm getting tired and I hope I'm not getting sick. My husband has COVID and I'm hoping I'm not getting it. I'm hoping it's just tiring. Okay, well, we just made some spooky stuff out of that, didn't we? This is glued right there. Okay. Now, and we shouldn't have glued that yet. We're going to make this go like that. That's where it should have been. So we're going to have a mess. Okay, let's see if this is right. Whew. No, it's got to be like that. Tanya, if you're watching, leave this in the comments. Oh my goodness. Okay, how does this? That is glued like that. That should work. And then, okay, if that's glued like that, then these are going to be like this. Oh, y'all, I may have to do a part 2 and do this last little bit because I feel like I'm getting very hot. I think they glue right here on this little part, but that is glued this way. But you fold that in first and then you glue. Oh, I think that's it. Okay, if that were the case, then when this opens, no. That's flat, like that, right? I'm just pretty sure it's got to be that. Let's try it again. So when that is open and that is underneath it, this is going to be like that. Yes, because when it's closed, it's going to be pointed like that. See, you can see on this one where that point is, and you've got your triangle here. So I think that is right. I was just doubting myself. Okay, so that is like that. Okay. Sorry, go watch Matusu Crafts. Do this. I am too tired after all this work. And I hope I'm not getting sick. Okay, so that's it. Let that dry. We're going to give that a minute. Okay, we're going to be patient. We're going to say, if you need any supplies, let me know. I'm so sorry. Okay. No wonder it took so long at class. I didn't realize how long it took. Okay. So this is going to be glued right there. We're going to have that at the bottom. I'm just going to glue that on right there. And this goes right here. Like that. So we're just going to put it in that little triangle. Let me make sure I've got the right triangle, the correct triangle. Not that one, this one and this one. Yes. Okay, so put your glue in those triangles. Glue that flat. Glue that flat. Right up to that score line. See, like that? Then they're going to do that. Okay, we're good to go. We're good to go. I just shouldn't have doubted myself like I did. Just kind of tired. Okay. And then we're going to put, this is supposed to be one of the dies that pours liquid like that into a cauldron. But I'm using it as a branch for the crow to sit on. Ha! Because who says we can't? Nobody. It's our card. We do it our way. I'm just kind of doing it where that angle is about right for the crow to sit on. And then this is just too much white for me. So even though we are taking forever, I'm going to trim that up just a little bit, because I don't want all that white showing. But if it's okay with you, you just do yours the right way. It's your card. You do it however you want. Okay, and I cut in between the legs and everything. We're not going to do that tonight because, like I said, I'm running late. Okay, there we go. And now for our cat, we're going to do the same thing. Get a little of all that excess white off the die left. Just do a little bit of fussy cutting, no big deal. Excuse me. We're almost done here, peeps. I really think it looks a lot better to go in between those legs. So I'm just going to take a few extra seconds and do that. Would y'all ever do a card this detailed? Or do y'all like simpler cards, whoever's watching? Besides who's doing the kit, and y'all get to do it this way, right? And you could substitute, like I said, all of this blending on a lot of this for the DSP if you had it. So we're going to, I'm just going to use a pecan pie marker on that down here, and I should have done that before. But we're just going to color that in because I don't have another branch in here, and we don't have to have it. We just want something for the kitty cat to sit on, right? Okay. He's going to be flat. And he's just going to be sitting right there. And the bird's going to be sitting right here on the top one. Make sure I don't have any glue up there. Nope. All good to go. Okay, let's see if it works. Yay, it does. Okay. So all we have to do is put glue on this right here where this is going to go. And we're not putting it on the piece itself. We're just putting it on this one. And it needs to be strong because people are going to be opening, closing, opening, close, and open and close this card because it's so fun. And that basically goes all the way top to bottom on the card. This is the full 5.5 height. And sorry, I'm just off on my camera here because I moved it earlier. Didn't get to reset it the way I wanted. Yay! It works. Hoorah. Okay, so there are your cats, cat and bird, a little bit more. One is darker. You can see here. The original one was kind of a little more black in there, and this is a little bit lighter. But either way, what do you think? Do y'all like this card? Would you do it yourself, or is that just too much work? Hope you have enjoyed it. Sorry I got distracted there and got off, but I had a lot of fun creating this, and I hope y'all will give it a try too yourself. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will be posting some measurements. And I do have a PDF that will be, or I will have, I haven't done it yet, a PDF that will be available that has all the measurements of all the cards that we did that day. We did 4 cards and a treat box and a treat pouch. So all of that would kind of be on one. I would give you one supply list like you've already got on the YouTube, and then I would have the not just the supplies, but the measurements. It doesn't have instructions because you're going to have to get that from the video. All right. Well, once again, I'm Kelley Pitts. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Create with Kelley Pitts, and my blog is createwithkelley.com. So thanks very much for watching. And if you have any questions, let me know. And if you need any supplies, I'm happy to help you. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I can send you a catalog. So thanks for sticking with me. I've enjoyed it. Thanks. Have a good evening. Bye. Now, finally, I couldn't get to I had notifications in the way.